welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's learn English together. And hello to you all. Yes, people, yes, it's me. I'm back and I'm here. And this is Wednesday, so don't look up. Keep your eyes fixed on the horizon. And this time, we're not looking out for Friday. No, I know, you and I both know. And George Orwell has told us before too. Fridays are the best. Even if pigs are smaller than horses, even if giraffes are taller than anteaters, even if all the days are equal, Fridays are still the best. Okay, we know that, but this week, both Thursday and Friday are special. So this week, we're looking out, we're scanning the horizon, not for Friday, but for Thursday. Friday is when the end of the week fun session begins, but Thursday is a special day too. So don't look up and don't look down. Keep your eyes peeled, looking for Thursday. But until then, it's time for another revision session. All right, now that we've got that sorted out, let's get back to where we were and what we were doing the last time we saw each other. But Enid's not here, so we can't find out the end to her story. Oh, well, never mind. She promised to come back and tell us the rest of the story. So, well, a promise is a promise. And just as a man's word is his bond, an eel's word is its bond. And when I say bond, I don't mean like this guy. No, when we say that a man's word is his bond, we're using a meaning of the noun which is not the most common. This meaning is of a pledge, a guarantee. If someone gives you their word, if they agree to something, then, if that person is a good person, then we don't need a piece of paper. The pledge, the promise of a good person should be enough. We also have the same idea with the phrase a gentleman's agreement. Here again we're saying that if someone is a gentleman, if someone was raised correctly by their family to not lie and to take responsibility for things, then we don't need a piece of paper. I shook your hand. I told you I would do something. I agreed to something. It's a question of personal honor that I do what I agreed to. So, just as your word is your bond, your guarantee that you will do what you said you would, Enid's word is her bond. And so, when she said that she would come back and finish her story, then that means that she will come back and finish her story. All right, let's have a look at the vocab we heard in the conversation between me and Enid. A catchphrase, split hairs, peculiar, light entertainment, a complication, an addiction, have a lot in common with someone, pull a cracker, get on like a house on fire, ages, I'd rather not, be upset, interrupt, silly, pertinent, snap at someone, wind someone up, unwind, irritate. A problem shared is a problem halved. Keep up, lose the thread, fancy, pop in. Alrighty, blimey dokey. Well, that's a fair number of words to check. Okay then, let's make a start. Okay, first one out of the box, a catchphrase is something we get from the world of TV and films. It's a well-known phrase or sentence which we associate with a certain particular famous person, normally because they repeat this catchphrase a lot of the time. Stop! 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 Okay, next, splitting hairs. Yes, now this one's a logical one. What's a hair? Well, the stuff that grows out of your head, that's hair. And a single item of that is one hair. Now, what do we know about hair? Well, some people have very thick hair and some people have very thin hair. Some men are bald, they don't have any hair. And some men are balding, they're losing their hair by the minute, by the hour, by the day, whatever. But even if someone has very thick hair, when we look at a single hair, we can see that it's very thin, isn't it? Yes. And that's the point. We talk about someone splitting hairs when they're making pointlessly small distinctions. Look at what happens when Richie and Eddie try to play Trivial Pursuits, a game which was pointlessly popular in the UK in the 1980s and 1990s. Eddie gets the answer right, but Richie doesn't want to give him the point, so he starts to quibble. He starts to raise stupid objections. He starts to split hairs, saying that Eddie's answer isn't correct because he didn't say what punctuation marks are involved in the answer. Eddie's answer was correct, but Richie doesn't want to give him the point. So he's arguing about something which is completely irrelevant. He's splitting hairs, wasting time on a tiny difference which doesn't matter.
Here it is. Who was the last Labour Prime Minister of Britain? And if you don't get this, you're an idiot. Callaghan. Yeah, can you be a bit more specific?
James Callaghan.
Yeah, well, can you give me a little bit more?
Richie, there is no more. That is the answer.
Yes, but we have to go by what it says on the card, don't we?
All right, I'll give up then.
Great, my go.
James Callaghan. It says on the card, James Callaghan.
Yes, it says James Callaghan, full stop, doesn't it? Callaghan, full stop. You see, you have to go by what it says on the card, Eddie. I can't help it. It's just in the rules. It's not my fault if you're too stupid to get the answer right.
Okay, next. What's peculiar? That's just another word for strange, unusual, odd, peculiar. Next. Light entertainment. This is a TV category, the sort of TV your grandparents watch. Middle of the road, not too exciting, no bad language. TV for the whole family. Game shows. They're good examples of light entertainment. Not serious, a little bit funny, a little bit this, a little bit that. Nothing too strong, just some light entertainment. Something for all the family. Next, a complication. Well, we've also got the verb and the adjective. If something is complicated, then we mean that it's complex, possibly difficult to understand. Nuclear physics is complicated. I don't understand it at all. Don't ask me what the answer is. I don't know. It's too complicated for me. Ask Professor Palinkash. He understands it, not me. So that's the adjective. We're talking about something which is the opposite of simple. Okay, and we've got the verb to complicate. The verb which means to make more complicated, to make something harder to understand. 5 times 6 is an easy mathematical problem, but we can complicate it. What's 5.4 pi percentage p divided by 12.8 multiplied by p over 12% add 12.54? See? I could tell you the answer to the first one, but that second maths question is too complicated for me. Okay, so we know the verb and we know the adjective, but what about the noun? Well, a complication is normally used as a synonym for an unforeseen problem, something which causes problems. The surgery was progressing well, but then we encountered a complication, and so the operation took 16 hours instead of 10 minutes. Next. An addiction. From the verb addicted to. When someone is addicted to something, they are mentally, psychologically, or physically, physiologically dependent on that thing. They need this thing. They can't do without it. Think about alcoholics. These people are addicted to alcohol. They need alcohol to function. This is an alcohol addiction. But as I'm sure you all know, there are lots of different addictions. Addictions to drugs, to work, to gambling. A drug addict is addicted to drugs. This person has a drug addiction. A workaholic is addicted to their job. This person has a work addiction. A gambling addict is addicted to gambling. They have to risk their money to try and win more and more. These people have a gambling addiction. Next, an easy one. To have a lot in common with someone. Just means that there are lots of things that you and this person like. So, we're talking about shared interests. You like early 18th century music? So do I. I love pictures of giraffes on skateboards, and so do you. We've got a lot in common. Next, to pull a cracker. Now, this is something we do in the UK at Christmas. A Christmas cracker is a paper cylinder with a small toy, a bad joke, a paper hat, and a small explosive charge inside it. At Christmas, you take one half of the cracker and the person sitting next to you takes the other half, then you pull. The cracker splits, makes a bang, and then you get to put a silly hat on, play with the small toy, and read the bad joke. It's a tradition.
1, 2, 3.
Hit it.
Oh!
Now, what's next? Well, get on like a house on fire. It's a phrase that we use to say that two people are great friends, to say that these two people have a very good relationship. That's all. Next, ages. Well, that's just another word we use for a very long time. An informal way of saying a long time. Good God, I thought that opera would never finish. It went on for ages. Blimey, the bus journey from Budapest to Ankara takes ages. Where have you been? I've been standing here waiting for you lot for absolutely ages. Next, I'd rather not. Now we use the adverb rather to show preference. Do you want to go to the zoo or the cinema? I'd rather go to the cinema, thanks. And just as we use rather to say what we'd prefer to do, we can use rather with the adverb not to say what we'd prefer not to do. Do you want to stay in and do your homework this afternoon? Well, to be honest, I'd rather not. Next, aha, to be upset. This one's a bit odd, a little bit peculiar. It can mean more than one thing, but normally when we use it as an adjective, we use it to mean one or two things. Either we use it as a synonym for angry, or we use it as a synonym for unhappy or worried. I was so upset when my girlfriend dumped me. I sat in a dark room and cried for days. Oh, be careful. Your mother's pretty upset about your exam results. Try to keep out of her way. Next, to interrupt, easy. Think about the sentences we used to have with the past continuous and the past simple. The past continuous told us what was going on in the background, and then blammo! The past simple interrupted the scene. So the verb to interrupt, the verb which means that you stop someone from doing or saying something, or you stop something from happening. Like Frank Drebin in this scene where he expertly interrupts the countdown of the bomb.
Frank, the bomb. Come on, Nordberg, let's go.
4 minutes to detonation.
What are we gonna do?
Operator's manual. See what you can find.
Okay. Let me see here. Oh, here we go. To reset detonation code, first press £.
Per your command, the speed of this sequence has been greatly increased. Detonation now in 2 minutes. 8 seconds to detonation.
What are we gonna do?
15 seconds.
Jane, I got my sleeve.
Oh, no!
10, 9, 8,
I can't get it!
7,
Jane, make it just.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Let's get out of here.
1.
Frank! Look! You did it!
And I think there's time for one more. Silly. Yes, this is a silly one. Silly, what does it mean? Well, it's a slightly less offensive synonym for stupid. Silly shows that someone doesn't have much common sense. Stupid is the same idea. It indicates a lack of sense, but stupid is a more aggressive word. Silly doesn't have to be so aggressive. It can be offensive, but it's easier to not be so offensive with silly. And another lesson, another mini revision session comes to an end. Yes, it's true. Our 15 minutes for the day has come to a close, and it's time for us to part once more. But never mind, dry your eyes. We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. Hang on, that's not right, is it? We know exactly when and where we're going to meet again, don't we? Yes, tomorrow, at the same time as today. Yes, people, I'll see you all tomorrow. And tomorrow's Thursday. and it's going to be a little bit special. So remember to tune in. I'll see you all tomorrow. See you later. Bye!